Hello everyone, hope you're all well on this Friday afternoon. Hard to believe we are middle of March already, y'all. That's crazy, isn't it? We are supposed to get hit with some major storms tomorrow about this time. They're saying between 8 p.m. and 8 a.m. tomorrow night, we're supposed to get 60 to 80 mile per hour winds, y'all. Now, I'm going to tell you something. If we get 80 mile an hour winds where we are, some big trees are going to come down. And that could get messy, and tornadoes. So I know many of you have experienced or are experiencing these storms that are coming across the country now, especially in the east part of the country. So chime in, let us know how things are going in your area. All right. I've got several things to cover. I'm going to give you a couple of little takeaways that are very interesting from the live that we did last night with Prepper Now. It was an awesome live. I think it was even better than the last one we did a couple of months ago or so. And I'm going to give you some feedback on that. Also, real quick, I'm going to link the channels that were involved in that. Prepper Now was the host. And then, of course, I was there. And then Modern Refugee, Roaming Prepper, and Hudson Valley Prepping and Survival. All very good channels. So check them out if you haven't already. I'll have the link to all of them in the description of this video. All right. So I'll give you some takeaways on that. We're talking about fair trade, tariffs, some thoughts on that. I have some questions. Y'all know I always have questions. I'm going to go over some questions that I have. You might find that you probably agree with. You might not. Let me know. WW3. My concern that I do have, the big concern that I have as far as these cuts, the Doge cuts and such, I'm in favor of almost everything there, of course. But there's one part of it that sticks into me, and I'm concerned about that, and I don't like it. All right, I'm gonna go into that. All right, and it's not a good time to be a chicken, or probably a turkey, especially in Pennsylvania. I'll just start with that. What the heck? 2.3 million birds have been culled, chickens, turkeys, in Pennsylvania this year. I don't know what the heck. I mean, because of this feather flu, the flying feather flu. I don't know what to think about that, y'all. But anyway, but they're culling millions of chickens and turkeys, literally. And then they wonder why egg prices are going up. Hello? You need to stop culling dang chickens and turkeys. So something very bad is wrong with that. I will choose my words carefully, but I believe hopefully it gets to a point to where people are going to push back on this. This is insane. It's just insane, y'all. And they've been focusing on the larger commercial farms, but my concern is they're going to go to the backyard growers, the backyard and homesteaders, small farms. There's already reports of them hitting the small farms and taking them out. That's just dang evil, man. It's evil. All right, questions that I have. All right, here we go. Some of these I mentioned in the past, but I mean, and we were promised information on this, full disclosure. What about the drones and the UAPs? Unmanned or unidentified aerial phenomena. Drones. We got nothing on that. What about them? What is going on in the sky? We need to know. Fort Knox, is it gold or not? Just tell us. Epstein files. It's been quiet lately on that. There's other files, but I think the Epstein one is the one people are really concerned about. And just curious, right? And kind of, why are Tony and that witch with the scarf, you know what I'm talking about, why are they still walking around free? I'm just curious. One of my big takeaways from our live last night, and if you weren't able to watch it, understandably, but you can go back and watch it on Prepper Now's channel, live from last night, the 5 Wise Men, where we solved all the world's problems in about an hour and a half. It was about an hour. But anyway, some things that were shared. As far as Trump, we were all pretty much in agreement that we like most of what he's doing. There are some things that we don't like, and we will call them out. His delivery could be better, but that's the way he is. We know this from the first term. He's brash. Yeah. Egomaniac. Yeah. A blowhard. Yeah. A jerk. Yeah. He can be a jerk. We were watching him speak, most of the time I'm like, yeah, tell him about it. And then there's some times where I'm like, and Ms. Dawg will be like, he's such a jerk sometimes. Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is. Some things we were talking about last night is, my thought is just a little empathy. If he had just a little more empathy, I think that would go so far, it would go, yeah. The other thing is, a lot of people are taking a wait and see attitude. We like most of what he's saying and doing. He's trying to do a lot of things all at one time. It will take time. Let's keep the faith and see what happens. Okay? Wait and see. I know it's tough. We need relief now. I get it. I mean, with folks, we need relief. We've been fleeced beyond belief, beyond recognition for the last 4 years. But the ship doesn't turn that fast. So we'll see what happens. Let's keep the faith, though. Let's keep the faith. Fair trade sounds fair to me. I mean, if a country we have such an imbalance to where, we are huge importers. We're probably one of the most, if not the biggest importer of other people's stuff. We buy all the other stuff from everywhere else. And so it's only fair that if we're going to tariff, that it's reciprocal, right? Or fair. So if we are getting tariffed on our goods that they are buying from us at, 50%, 100%, I don't know, pick a number. And then the tariff on them bringing, of importing, buying their stuff is only like 5% or 10%. We need to have some more balance there. I don't think I'm oversimplifying that, but I think that's what he's trying to do. We have a big imbalance with some of these countries, who we're talking about for the most part. Also to bring manufacturing back to the United States. Why can't we make our own stuff? We should be able to make our own stuff. There's no excuses. We're going to be, we don't have the manufacturing. Well, build it. Build it. Why can't we build it then? It ain't gonna be overnight. I get it. Build the stuff and do it. We are rich in resources, human and otherwise. Get it done. That's my attitude. That's the dog mentality there on that part. Also, some of these countries, especially the border ones like Canada, Mexico, also to pressure them to be tough on the illegal immigration. So it's multifaceted. It's multifaceted. Also, some of the other comments, and I can't remember exactly who said what. I think Modern Refugee said this one, and I totally agree. World War III. We're talking about the prospects of World War III. He had a good comment. He said, World War III started in 2020 with the biggest, probably the biggest attack on the people and maybe in history. And I can't really argue that, really, to tell you the truth. And most of us pretty much came to a consensus that it's already started. It's just in a different phase than what you would think of the classic WW3 as missiles flying literally all over the world. We also talked about how we are at a very crucial time right now as far as the danger of World War III erupting into a much larger, truly worldwide terrible thing. In that the Ukraine-Russia thing, they're saying even today that they say they're very close to a deal, not only a ceasefire deal, but a agreement to go beyond 30-day ceasefire. Because Trump is against. Putin is against just a ceasefire that would allow Ukraine to just regroup. I understand. I don't blame him on that, and vice versa. But I think if they can find some kind of peace there, and that it can last more than 30 days, then I think we're in a little better spot. That doesn't mean it can still erupt. Even as somebody said, I forget who said, it might have been Roaming Prepper, said that even if they come to some deal, it doesn't, not to say, who's to say that it could still, somebody not abide by a ceasefire, and something happens, something flies, and a missile flies here, and then they return fire, and it just gets out of control quickly, and then here we are. A lot of countries have picked their sides already, so it seems like the sides are lined up. You've got a different situation in that this world war, it would be felt here on this soil, literally. We would feel it here. We are not bulletproof to this. We would not, as in World War I or World War II, to where you pretty much know that you're not going to get bombed like you did in London or Germany in World War II, or Japan for that matter. Can you imagine the panic if even just one or two missiles slid in, came across, and you're going to get literally no warning, especially if they're hypersonic missiles. You will have virtually no warning. I'm serious. And hit even a medium-sized city. Can you imagine the panic and chaos that would cause? We're not used to that, right? So there's that. It would be felt on U.S. soil. Most of the people walking around here have no clue, have not a care in the world, or even an awareness of that. Okay. So there's that. My concern with the cuts, we like Dawg, of course, overall. But, and I'm all for cutting. Yeah, cutting waste, fraud. But people need to go to jail. Like I said yesterday, the one piece I'm concerned about is these massive cuts, these massive layoffs, these massive firings. Okay, I just think it's, especially when you're talking about Veterans Administration, Social Security, and some others, defense, the things that the folks need still, even the post office, that needs a whole different, that's another thing. But my concern is if I just don't want them to cut the bad fruit out. People don't work, gaming the system and all that kind of stuff. That would take a little more time. You can't just, in a moment, slash these thousands and thousands of jobs. Where my concern there is you're going to cut some good fruit, a lot of good fruit out with the bad too. So you have loyal, good people in these positions too, federal positions, who are doing a good job for the people, for veterans and otherwise, for people who need services. My concern is you're going to take them out, collateral damage, and that's not good. That's my concern. There should be a way to do it in that you get the ones who are not working, the bad stuff out, and not the good. Leave your good people in place, or reward them. Give them a bonus. I don't know. Keep them in, And how about the managers? Are they doing their job? That takes time to go through and audit them. Do an audit. Figure out what they're doing before we slash half the dang agencies, especially these vital ones. That's my thought. So that's my concern there. But what else? I think that was it. Share your thoughts on these things. Keep keep the faith. Okay. Remember, inauguration was what? January 20th. January 20th. We're in the middle of March. Just keep that in mind. Let's think for ourselves. Let's don't get so wrapped up in something we hear or read that's just one source, that we grab it and let it make us fly off the handle and freak out without corroborating it. Think about it. Ask questions. Question it. If that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. I'm going to a passage because it's a good one. Going into James. Let's see here. Book of James, chapter 1. Let's see here. Chapter 1, verse 5 and 6. But if any of you lacks wisdom, let him ask of God, who gives to all generously and without reproach, and it will be given to him. But he must ask in faith, without any doubting. For the one who doubts is like the surf of the sea, driven and tossed by the wind. Don't be tossed by the wind. Stay rock solid in our faith, no doubting, and it will be given. If we lack wisdom, and we all lack wisdom in some ways and at times, ask God. That's reassuring to me. It really is. It strengthens the faith too. I know it does with me. I hope that's helpful. Share your thoughts on that one too. Let's be safe from these storms. I'm a bit concerned about these lines that are coming through today and tomorrow. So let's be aware. Be prepared. Be safe out there. Be careful when you're going about your business. Stay close to Jesus. God bless y'all. I'll see you soon.